Lincoln Way West High School and your Downers Grove North High School Trojans. Entering the field, the Athenas cheerleaders and your Downers Grove North High School Trojan marching band.
Oh, yeah.
Is pleased to introduce the 2025 Trojan marching band.
Welcome into Downers Grove, Illinois, folks, alongside Anthony Collada. My name is Andy Diedrich, and you're watching the Class 7A Illinois State Playoffs right here on IHSA Network. It is almost 70 degrees, a light breeze coming in. We're playing playoff football, and it feels like a summer day, Anthony.
Yeah, beautiful day out here for some football, Andy. November, definitely not expecting this. I remember last year we were doing some of these games and it was practically snowing, so much nicer to be out here on a Saturday afternoon. A little breezy. We've got some good kickers in this game, so we'll see how that wind affects us today.
Yeah, certainly talent on both sides in all levels of the game right now. We see the Downers Grove North Marching Band is taking the field, and we're going to stand by. Shortly, we're going to hear the playing of our national anthem.
We're ready.
I think at this point we'll just let it play through.
Yeah, I think it needs a little bit of connection, so just...
Yeah.
I'll try and hold it like this.
You want to come back and talk about the game real quick?
Yeah, we're coming back.
So we'll go ahead, as the alma mater of Downers Grove North is being played, we'll go ahead and give you a tail of the tape. The matchup today, the number 7 seed Lincoln Way West Warriors are here in Downers Grove to play the Downers Grove North Trojans at the 15 seed. A rare case where the lower seed in the Trojans are actually hosting this game, Anthony.
Yeah, definitely an interesting situation here. Warriors 10-1. This is actually a rematch of the 2023 7A quarterfinals where Downers Grove, they handled their business in that game, winning 34-6. So definitely on Lincoln Way's side, going to look to change the tides from a couple of seasons ago.
And Lincoln Way has certainly the talent to do it. 10-1. They are 5-1 in their conference in the Southwest Valley Red Division. Champions of that conference this season. Going against Downers Grove North. 9-2 on the year. 4-1 in the West Suburban Silver Conference. So not much else you can say other than there's talent on both sides, and they're going to play fast and strong today.
Yeah, we were talking to the head coach with Lincoln Way earlier before the game, and he explained that both teams are going to be along the same wavelength on their game plan. So as we get ready for the national anthem,
We are. beautiful rendition of our national anthem brings us back here to Downer Grove High School. We'll go ahead and give you a tale of the tape between these two teams, starting with the visiting Lincoln Way West Warriors. How did they get here? Well, we mentioned before, 10-1 in the regular season. Southwest Valley Red Conference champions. In the first round, they defeated Lincoln Park High School by a score of 56-14. Last week, their opponent was Kenwood, who they handled 43-20 in the second round, scoring 40 unanswered after trailing 6-3. Anthony, they have a whole lot of athletes and a whole lot of guys playing at the next level.
Yeah, and we see it on the offense. 5 of their last 6 games, they've scored over 40 points. We come into this one, tight defensive matchup. We're going to look for Downers Grove to try to continue their offensive success and then turn around and play their good defense to control the clock.
The Warriors are headed by 6-year head coach Luke LeCank. It's his 14th year with the program after defensive coordinating for 8 years for the Warriors. And on the flip side, the home team, the 15-seeded Downers Grove North Trojans, 9-2 record, 4-1 in the West Suburban Silver. And we talked about talent on Lincoln Way West side, but Downers Grove has talent to match, if not exceed that.
Yes, they do. Plenty of both sides players. They got Oliver Thulin, Will Vala, a couple guys on both sides of the ball that make an impact. And you take a look at Downers Grove. So fun little point that I was looking at when we were looking at the schedule. They seem to lose every 4th game. Started the season off 3-0, lost that 4th game. And then they went on another 3-game losing streak, and they lost again. So now, coming into this playoff game, 3-game winning streak again for Downers Grove. Can they get off and ruin the routine of 3 straight?
The Trojans are led by 8th-year head coach Joe Horeni, who is actually a Hall of Famer and state champion at Downers Grove South. So Horeni coming to his rival to coach, and has the Trojans set up in a pretty solid place here. It will be Downers Grove North receiving the ball first. Lincoln Way West won the toss and chose to defer possession to the second half. And so many all-state players on both teams, guys that will be playing Division I, Division II at the next level. We're going to get into it real soon. But for now, once again, a beautiful 70 degrees in Downers Grove, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for joining us on the NFHS Network. Let's have some fun, Anthony. What do you say?
Here we go, Andy. It should be a good one here. Just about to get underway.
All-State Zach Hermanson will line up for the Warriors and boot it away from his own 40. And Hermanson, showing his big leg early, kicks it into the end zone for a touchback. So with Downers Grove North receiving the ball first, we see their quarterback, the field general, number 1, quarterback Owen Lansu. His 3rd year starting for the Trojans, and he's going to play at the next level at Minnesota next year.
Yeah, very talented young man under center for Downers Grove here. He, banged up earlier in the year. This is now his 6th game back from a broken arm, but we were talking about it before the game. Right after the first game back from that broken arm, he threw for over 400. So we don't expect to see any rust. Now 6 games back, so you're going to look for a good start here from Downers Grove.
Yeah, Lansu in the win against Glenbard West last round had 112 yards on 15 completions. He starts here in the shotgun. We'll hand off to his tailback, up the gut. Be brought down by a gaggle of Warrior defenders there.
Yeah, a solid run up the middle to start the game. We talked about both coaches, both teams wanting to control the clock and control the flow of the game. A nice 5-yard run on first down up the middle is going to do that.
That was Caden Shirelli, one of the captains of this Trojan team, getting his first carry of the day. And that brings up 2nd and 5 for the Trojans on their own 25-yard line. Lansu will throw for the first time today. Pass was in the grass but dropped. First target went to Luke Gowdy, another captain and senior on this. That was number 9 on Downers Grove. That's Will Vala. That's a tight end defensive lineman, stands at 6'3", 225. Recognizes all states for Class 7A in the state of Illinois.
Yeah, the Illinois recruit there, unable to hold on to the ball. Brings up 3rd and manageable, 3rd and mid. Downers Grove needing a conversion here on this first drive of the game.
Empty set for Lansu, 3 to the near side. Lincoln Way West showing a 3-man front, looking to stay back in their secondary on this 3rd and medium. It's Lansu, all the time in the world, over the middle, caught! It's hauled in, he's dropped at about the 41-yard line. But
Yeah.
that is a catch for Ryan Brown and a Trojan first down.
Yeah, great read there from the quarterback, Lansu. You could see where he was going the whole way. He was going right, but he had a small punt fake there to look off the defender and then zipped in that slant route for a good first down, get the drive going. Now Downers Grove moving the ball.
And Lincoln Way West has some animals on the defensive end, especially in that interior. They're going to want to get to Lansu, try and stop him before he gets the ball out. This time he hands off. His tailback there, getting swallowed up by the defense of the Warriors, is Caden Shirelli once again, his second carry of the day.
Yeah, look for Shirelli to be very involved in this game. He's a big, powerful running back. He had 2 touchdowns last week. They love to rely on him to control the clock, as we've mentioned.
Yeah, and in that first round win over Prospect for Downers Grove North, Caden Shirelli, his first carry of the game, took it 65 yards to the house. So not the same success we're seeing here from Shirelli to start, but certainly look for him to keep getting the ball as this day goes on. 2nd and 5 for the Trojans. This time receiving the call for a couple yards. That is number 40. That's Grant Georges.
Yeah, 3rd and very manageable here for the Trojans offense. Solid on the ground so far. Someone worth to keep an eye on the defense. Number 1, Jackson Mansker, plays a little bit of a hybrid Jamal Adams type role. You'll see him at safety. You'll see him at linebacker. Look for him to make a big play here.
Warriors flooding the box on 3rd and short. Straight ahead, it's Shirelli. He's gobbled up for a loss. That interior of the Warriors showing their strength early brings up 4th down for the Trojans.
Yeah, Noah Wentz there on the tackle amongst a few other Lincoln Way West defenders. A big stop brings up 4th down, and it does look like the punting unit's coming out at the 50-yard line. Do you agree with that call?
I do think it's interesting for Downers Grove North. They're near midfield. They are going to choose to punt this away. They're at least going to line up in punt formation. A lot of game left, though. We'll see if the home team chooses to pull out some trickery very early in this one.
Yeah, I think this puts a lot of trust in your defense. Kick it down the field, force the opposing offense to go the length of the field. You haven't seen them yet. Not a
Low
good
snap.
punt.
It is fielded and punted away. That's Oliver Thulin, as doubles as a wide receiver, defensive back, and punter. Ball goes out of bounds on the far side, and the Warriors will take over at about their own 36-yard line. We're going to step away for a moment. No score here in Downers Grove. You're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network. Back here in Downers Grove, no score, 9:06 remaining in the first quarter. Taking the field for the first time, the Lincoln Way West Warrior offense. Grant Tustin hands ahead to his tailback. That's Jahan Abubakar. They'll be tackled for a short gain of 1. And you talk about some absolute weapons on the Warriors offense. Grant Tustin was Class 7A All-State Honorable Mention, and his tailback, Abubakar, just handed to, will be playing his college ball at South Dakota.
Yeah, another guy out here today that missed some time earlier with an ankle injury, but he came back last week, didn't look like he missed any time. 23 carries for 128 and 2 touchdowns, so look for him to be very involved again, Abubakar.
Volume increasing from the Trojan sideline. Warriors will throw on 2nd down. It's caught short of the sticks, but a good pitch and catch that time. It was Tustin completing to Elijah James, the senior tight end.
Yeah, Elijah James, just a very nice comeback route. It was a great throw there on the outside shoulder from Tustin. So now another manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 1. We'll look for Lincoln Way to punch this one up the middle.
Quarterback Grant Tustin, number 12, standing tall there in the pistol formation, had 139 passing yards, 53 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground last week against Kenwood. 3rd and short, straight ahead is Abubakar. Breaks some tackles and has daylight. He's followed by his quarterback, Tustin, who will set a block. Abubakar is gone. Touchdown, Warriors.
Stepped out of bounds, I think.
Correction, looks like they will mark him out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. I think Abubakar was moving so quick, I got a little too excited there, Anthony. Point is, it's a 1st down for Lincoln Way West.
Yeah, Abubakar. You know, I mentioned running right up the middle. He made the linebacker miss. He jumped it out to the outside, and then it was a foot race. Defender from Downers Grove, just able to force him out of bounds enough. It did look like he was gone, though. 23-yard line, he went out of bounds.
Yeah, apologies to the Lincoln Way West fans for getting you maybe a little too excited there, but Abubakar really showing his prowess early. And I think the Trojan defense maybe want to talk it over as Downers Grove takes a timeout. And we'll take a timeout here. Scoreless here in the first quarter on NFHS Network. Step out, my bad.
I didn't see him step out either.
How about Tustin getting down there to block for it too, huh? Yeah. That was cool.
He is fast and shifty. Abubakar.
Yeah. Abubakar, you got it. We're good. Back here in Downers Grove, Andy Diedrich alongside Anthony Collada. So after a punt near midfield for Downers Grove that didn't travel that far, looks like the Warriors are making them pay for playing a little safe as they find themselves near the Trojan red zone.
Yeah, so you mentioned, Lincoln Way being the higher seed, but on the road. Not necessarily a problem. They're 5-0 on the road. They got a stop on defense here and now threatening on offense. So good start here for the Warriors.
Tustin gets the play call. Abubakar to his right in the shotgun. It will be Abubakar straight ahead. He'll be pulled down in front of his lineman for a gain of about 5, 2nd and 5 for the Warriors.
Yeah, some patient running there from Abubakar. Nothing doing on the outside there, kind of cut it back up the middle, was able to find 5 yards. Keeps you in front of the sticks, and it keeps your offense in rhythm for what Lincoln Way is looking to do.
It certainly seems like they will continue to force feed Abubakar if he's going to be patient with these runs and get these big gains as they are now officially in the Downers Grove red zone. 2nd down. Tustin waits and dumps it off. Abubakar in space gets a great block from his wide receiver, and maybe too good of a block. This play is lucky coming back for a block in the back.
Yeah, I was thinking so. That's one of those close ones, but you had the receiver. As soon as they see you making a block looking at your own end zone, the flag is going to come out every single time, and there it was. Almost a very good seal block to spring Abubakar, but not quite.
And that is the call. It will be a legal block in the back going against the Warriors. Our head official indicating that just now. Goes against number 3, Chase Markowitz of Lincoln Way West. That's another weapon that Tustin has in his arsenal. Markowitz will attend Illinois State to continue his football career after this season.
Yeah, Grant Tustin there. Very nice going through his progressions. He looked left, looked across the middle, and then dumped it down to his check down. Did come back due to the penalty. That's what you like to see out of your young quarterback.
2nd and long after the penalty. Abubakar straight ahead. Waits a little bit. Gains a couple to bring up 3rd and a little more manageable for the Lincoln Way West offense.
Yeah, some patient running there. Only gets him a few yards. So what was looking like very promising got to 2nd and 5 at about the 20-yard line. Now 3rd and long. They do have a very good kicker in Hermanson, so this is going to be field goal range for them, but they're expecting more.
Indeed, an important consideration. And 1st down isn't necessary here as it would be for some teams. There are a few kickers in the state that are more reliable than All-Stater Zach Hermanson. We'll see if that affects their play calling on 3rd and 8. Tustin. Hit as he thrown. Ball is batted down. Solid job there. That was number 22 for the Downers Grove defense, Captain Joe Lasota.
Yeah, an interesting play concept there. You had Noah Wentz, you had Elijah James, and then another receiver all in the same area right there in the middle of the field. So really you had one defender covering up all 3 of those guys. Leads to the incompletion and now the kicking game.
So 4th and 9. Indeed, it is Zach Hermanson out to attempt about a 39-yard field goal. Hermanson's boot perfectly through the uprights. Probably would have been good from near 50 yards. Only number that matters there, 3 points for the Lincoln Way West Warriors. They now lead Downers Grove 3-0. We'll be right back after a short break on NFHS Network. back here at DGN High School. 3-0, Lincoln Way West leads the Trojans. They will kick back off to this Trojan offense. See if they can get something going after that punt near midfield on their first possession.
Yeah, we'd had one drive from each team about halfway through this first quarter. Only 3-0, so we're going to look for another touchback here. Look for the Trojans to answer back with some points of their own.
So taking the field for the second time, Owen Lansu again, the Minnesota recruits. Again, going back to what you said before, Lansu missed 4 or 5 weeks this year after breaking his left arm in the rivalry game against DGS, the second game of the year. He has surgery, comes back October 10th, throws for 388 yards and 4 touchdowns. What does that say about the toughness of your quarterback if they can break their arm and go back out a month later and ball out?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest point of it was it's not his throwing arm. That's kind of the biggest point of that. But it just shows you, these kids out here, they care about being out here for their teammates. And this is the biggest game of the year. Of course he's going to be out here.
Lansu will throw it again. This pass is complete. Breaking a tackle and making his way down for about a 3-yard gain.
But going back to that point, you know, you're banged up, you know, only a month out. And you know you're coming back because you know the team that you have put together in that locker room, that this is your chance. No way you're sitting out on the sideline when you've got your best chance at a successful season.
Serpico with the catch there from Lansu. Has not yet targeted his favorite wide receiver, Oliver Thulin, the Dayton commit. And it looks like we have a false start going against the Trojan offense. So some woes early for this Trojan offense that has seen their fair share of offensive success this season.
Yeah, you know, the false start, that's going to back them up a little bit. We've seen them have success on offense, moving the ball. They have to stay in front of the sticks. It's going to be most important for them.
Quick pass to the far side. This time it is Thulin. Cannot evade his tackler, and he'll be brought down for a short gain. Third and long coming up for the Trojan offense. Thulin's first catch of the day, though, last week against Glenbard West, 8 catches, 59 yards.
Yeah, another one of these really... Well, you mentioned Thulin. That was not him on that play. However, he's another one of those talented players that play both ways, plays defensive back and receiver for this Trojans team.
Correction, Will Vallow with the catch there. I'm sure we'll be singing his praises on both ends of the ball at some point. 3rd and 12 for the Trojans. Lansu over the middle, caught and in space, brought down at about the 44-yard line. That time, it is Oliver Thulin, the captain, for a Trojan first down.
Yep, and there he is, right on cue, Andy. A big first down play, hits him right across the middle. Great route. Found him right on time. That moves the sticks, and now you see this Trojans offense with some momentum.
Crowd noise amplifying for the Trojans here. Perhaps a good sign of things to come. Like we mentioned before, Thulin, 8 catches, 59 yards a week ago against Glenbard West. Straight ahead this time, Shirelli, the defensive front of Lincoln Way West. He's brought down by Braden Nelson, the senior.
Yeah, decent gain there on first down, 3 yards. Going back to Thulin real quick. He comes from a family of athletes here, Andy. His 2 brothers, Owen and Ethan, came before him playing for this Trojans football team, and his sister is actually the best player in their family. She plays basketball, one of the star players on their basketball team. So definitely some talent there from Thulin.
Family ties at DGN. Thulin hauls another one in. He'll be short of the sticks, but a solid pitch and catch there from Lansu to his favorite target.
And you can tell, it's just the trust is there. He gets out about 5 yards, sits down in that open zone, and the ball is right on him right away.
Thulin, of course, with the game-clinching pick 6 last week against Glenbard West, went 29 yards to the house to go up 2 scores in that game late, and it was all the Trojans needed to advance to this round here.
Yeah, pick 6 for Thulin, had 8 catches on offense. They asked him about it afterward. He said the catches are better on defense. A little more rare, right?
Indeed, my friend, but
Another play stop.
this time it's another false start going against Downers Grove North. So what's going on out there? More than one false start on this drive. That's the second one, and it backs them up in a pretty key spot near midfield.
Yeah, definitely a key spot there. And, you know, obviously both fans are rowdy today. Playoff game, it's a little early still. You know, emotions could be high. They are the home team, so they just gotta settle in here. They're moving the ball okay. You just can't be backing yourself up with these penalties.
We'll see what the play call is for the Trojans here. Lansu, all the time in the world, wants to air it out and has a man. It's home in and brought down inside the 5-yard line. Maxwell Troja, his first catch of the day is a huge one.
Yeah, they had two defenders over there on Troja, and it didn't matter. The speed just burnt them, and what a beautiful throw there from the quarterback. Lansu sets Downers Grove up inside the 5-yard line. Huge play. I'd expect him to run it right up the middle here, Andy. No messing around here. You got a big play, now go put it in.
Home run plays have defined this Downers Grove North team all season. And if they can cap this one off, it'll give them their first lead of the day here in the first quarter. Under 2 minutes to go. First and goal for the Trojans. Although they might be moving a little further back. And indeed, another false start on this drive for DGN. Their third.
Yeah, and it's just kind of one of these situations. The third false start already in this first quarter. And it's like, you know, they take 2 steps forward, and it's only 1 step back right now. They're still moving the ball, but every time they get something positive, they find themselves in a good spot. False start backs them up.
So head coach Joe Horeni of the Trojans is incensed on that sideline. Whether at his players or the referees is unclear, but the result is still a first and goal for the Trojans. So they'll have some pre-snap motion here with the 3 tight end set. Shirelli straight ahead. He'll be gobbled up in there for a short gain of 1 or 2.
Yeah, nice design play there. They actually had the guard, Tyler Engsler, pulling from the right to the left, kicking out that defensive tackle to try to open up that lane. But a nice fill there from the linebackers of Lincoln Way.
Pulls are certainly hard to institute at this level with the guys so young. It's a bit of more of a nuanced concept. What do you think of that, though, when you're so close to the goal line, bringing in the extra lineman to try and get that extra push?
I actually really like it. It confuses the defense because, like you said, not necessarily a staple in the high school game. Defensive linemen maybe not necessarily sure what they're seeing.
Back in the shotgun, Lansu scans. He'll do it himself. He's in! Owen Lansu puts the Trojans on the board. Touchdown, DGN.
Yeah, nice on the move play. He had a couple of guys that maybe were open. You definitely saw who was it in the end zone? 40 was waving his arm, calling for the ball, but Lansu just decides to tuck it himself and puts it in.
Yeah, Grant Georges was wide open as the linebacker came off of him to pursue Lansu. But Owen Lansu saw the pylon, and he had the football in his hands and did what he had to do. So 6-3, DGN now leads in the first quarter. The extra point coming up.
Exactly what Downers Grove was looking for after allowing that field goal on the previous drive.
Kick is up and good from 32, Baker Glom. 7-3, DGN leads right here on NFHS Network.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Back here at Downers Grove North, where the Trojans have put themselves in front 7-3 with 56 seconds remaining in the first quarter. This is not the first time they faced Lincoln Way West in the playoffs, Anthony. Quarterfinal matchup 2023, the Trojans dominated.
Yeah, they did. 34-6 for Downers Grove. So far, tighter game here, but it is still early. You know, Lincoln Way, 37 seniors on this team, so a lot of those players were sophomores, if not freshmen, you know, a couple years ago when they lost to this Downers Grove team. So you know that they're looking to get their get back a little bit.
Downers Grove went on to lose in the 7A state title to Mount Carmel in 2023, hoping to have a different result this year. Glom kicks it away, ball falls into the end zone, and it'll be the Warriors taking it back from the 20-yard line. So, quick start for both teams. Offense is on the board. What do you look to do if you're Lincoln Way West to try and respond after the Trojans had a nice, long, lurching drive on that one?
Yeah, I don't think you do a whole lot different from what you had going on the first drive. Keep running the ball with Abu Bakar. You know, mix in the short passes and just keep moving the ball. And as you do, just don't get the false starts, don't get the penalties that are going to set you back, and just keep operating like you did on the last drive.
Grant Tustin takes the field in the pistol with Abu Bakar behind him, and it is Jahan receiving the carry. His ability to get in through those lanes, got a couple extra yards there when he could have been brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a very slippery runner is Abu Bakar, and you know, not a whole lot doing there, and he still picks up 4 yards. You get 4 yards a pop on every play, you're going to be moving down the field pretty easily. So definitely look for them to continue to feed the running back there.
The senior running back is listed at 6 feet 1 inches, 191 pounds. We've seen him get the ball on the ground, through the air. We'll see if they choose to do it differently. This time Tustin will take it himself on the quarterback draw. And he nets just enough yardage for the first down. So Tustin's first rush of the game, someone is a dual threat quarterback, expect to see that a little more.
Yeah, and it's always important if your quarterback can utilize his legs, because it essentially gives you an extra blocker out on the field, because you know your quarterback hands the ball. If he's he's typically not blocking for your running back. So that will bring us here to the end of the quarter. Decent back and forth here, Andy.
I think we are indeed seeing a treat of a game. We had high expectations coming into this, and I think we're going to continue those expectations into the second quarter. For now, it's DGN up 7-3 over Lincoln Way West on NFHS Network.
They all believe and trust in each other in that locker room, and that's so important, because when you have everybody bought into one single goal, as opposed to just being out there and going for your looks, going for your commits and all of that, when you have a team bought into everything that the program is doing, this is where you find yourself as a program.
3rd and 7. Tustin deals. Broken up on the far side. Impressive work from Sean Toth. The senior defensive back makes a big stop to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, great play. Now, I don't think it would have been a first down, as he was short of the line to gain anyways, but a great break on the ball there by Toth. Knocks it away. I actually thought he had a receiver across the middle that was open. Missed him there.
The Warriors not quite establishing that chemistry they had on that first drive, but still anybody's game. They'll punt it away back to Downers Grove North.
Yeah, much bigger stop there from the Trojans defense, not even allowing a first down, getting the ball back.
The All-State kicker punter Hermanson sends it away. Received at the 30-yard line by Chiarelli. And a pair of Warriors defenders, namely Noah Wentz, bring him down at about the 39 or so. We'll stick with the action here with about 10:28 in the second quarter. What have you liked out of Downers Grove North in terms of defensively coming out, really showing it to Lakeway West on that drive?
Yeah, especially, I mean, we saw it right from the very beginning. They brought a little extra pressure, got the quarterback, Tustin, off his spot a little bit, forced him out of the pocket. You set him up on a 2nd and 11, and then from there, you play tight coverage, you stop the run, force the punt again, and now, after scoring that touchdown, you're back in business here at the 40-yard line.
Throw on first down is short, but caught on the far side. Thulin catches this one. It's unfortunately a loss of 3 for the Trojans. And impressive from the defensive backs of the Warriors there, reading that one and bringing Thulin down for a loss.
Yeah, anytime you get Oliver Thulin with the ball in space, you know the other team is holding their breath. So a very good job there from the defensive backs to come up, force him to stay in front of him, and get him down for a loss. This is about the same start that we saw on the drive for Lincoln Way, now for Downers Grove.
Another throw on second down, threaded through a tight window for Will Valla, and Owen Lansu really had no room, kind of threw that one like he was in a phone booth, but still, it's a completion and some more yards.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that you know, Will Valla, he is 6'3", 225. He knew exactly where his tight end was going to be on that play. He threw it right to a spot, let his big man box him out, and pick up a good chunk to set up a manageable 3rd down now.
Yeah, so Lance, who we've talked about him, the Minnesota recruit, Will Valla will be going to Illinois. D1 talent all on this roster. And once again, on the near side here, Chiarelli's brought down after the catch. Looks like he might be 1 yard short. So another 4th down situation near midfield. What do you think Downers Grove North does here?
Yeah, so they're keeping the offense out here. This is 100% agree with this call, because you were throwing that ball short of the sticks already. You were going for this. You didn't get it when you were in this same position on your first drive, and then it resulted in not a great punt. This is the right call here.
3 feet for the first down. Chiarelli plows ahead and has more than enough to move the chains. They find themselves in Warriors territory. And it's a first down for the Trojans.
Yeah, and just like that, Andy, nice, simple, and easy. Run the ball up the middle, pick up a good chunk for that first down. You know, they had that punt on the first drive with the bad snap. It didn't go more than 30 yards. You were in that same position, short yardage. Trust your offense to pick up that first down, keep the ball moving.
Some big boys on this offensive front. I saw an impressive block there from 79 Anthony Bertocchi, listed at 6'3", 290. He lays a good block as they run to his left side again. Chiarelli, gain of about 3 yards, bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, maybe give him about 4. Solid, powerful run there. The blocking really sprung that open. Just one more defender to beat. And that could have been several more yards to that one.
Chiarelli's had more than his share of house calls this year. He subs out. In at tailback now for Downers Grove North is Georges. And they will throw. Lansu airing it out once again. He's got a man. Home in. Touchdown, Trojans.
And another one there to Maxwell Troja. That's his guy on the deep balls. Just send him deep, let him beat the corner with that speed, and throw it over the top. Drops it right in the basket, in for another touchdown.
An eerily similar play to what we saw that set the Trojans up for that touchdown in the first quarter. Some more fireworks from this DGN offense. And with this extra point, might give them a 14-3 lead, Anthony.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back touchdowns now. They got a good stop there in the middle. Big plays, they change momentum, and now 13-3 pending this PAT. And there it is.
Straight through the uprights, DGN tacks on the extra point. 7:37 remaining in the second quarter. It's all Trojans here at Downers Grove. We'll be right back on NFHS Network.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
(14-3) Trojans over the Lincoln Way West Warriors. Anthony, Max Troha, phenomenal wide receiver, is not one of the main targets or main weapons that you've seen Downers Grove North really feed the ball to this year. How is he getting so wide open?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that when Lincoln Way, they've got to pay attention to Oliver Thulin. They've got to pay attention to the Illinois recruit Will Vala. That it's like you can only show so much attention to so many people that it's going to give Troha that one-on-one coverage on the outside. And when that speed is able to beat the defensive backs, it looks like they found something here in this game.
Certainly did. We will see a return here from the Warriors. Some daylight in front. Nice little return to the 25-yard line. We'll set up Grant Tustin in this Warrior offense, looking to respond after 2 quick touchdowns after the 3-0 lead.
Yeah, they went 3 and out after allowing the touchdown. Came back, allowed another touchdown on defense. So Lincoln Way, with 7.5 left, they are going to need to control the clock and move the ball down the field. You do not want another 3 and out. Give the ball back to this Trojans team with momentum before the half.
Kind of a strange situation for the Warriors they find themselves in. They've scored at least 40 points in 5 of their last 6 games. The only time they lost this year, they only scored 13 points against Bradley Bourbonnais in that 35-13 loss. So see if the offense can get jump-started. Tustin hands off to Abu Bakar straight ahead. Nothing going for the Warriors. Trojans defensive front showing their strength.
Yeah, and we were kind of chatting about it a little bit before the game that depending on how the game goes, was going to kind of tell you who was going to win this one. That if it was going to be a defensive battle, we were probably going to be looking at the Trojans pulling this one off due to the fact that they're only allowing 13 points a game. But if we were going to get into a shootout, that's where Lincoln Way. They average over 40 points per game. The Trojans only 29. So right now, defense is the story.
Under 7 minutes in the second quarter, second down and 7 yards to go. Tustin will air it out. Just through the hands of his intended receiver.
That was Chase Markowitz there. He was right in between 2 defenders there. That's one of those ones that if you hang on to it, you know you're taking a lick. And dangerous throw. Wasn't going to pick up a whole lot. Sets him up for a 3rd and long now. Needing a first down.
They're in need of a home run play here. It looks like they're going to continue to line up in this spread formation. 1 receiver to the right, 3 to the left.
Yeah, with the trips, I would look possibly one-on-one to the top of the screen, but they do have the safety shading. Looks left.
Tustin, pocket collapsing. Through the hands once again. This time it's Ethan Swanson. That would have been more than enough to pick up the first down. The punt unit's coming out in the field, however.
Yeah, defender, a little bit draped over him. A little bit of a high throw, but it was put in a position that only Swanson was going to come down with that one. It was kind of hot, but through his hands. Brings up another punt now, and the Trojans, they're going to get the ball back with over 6 minutes left. Already 2 touchdowns up on the board. This is a very important drive.
And you certainly never want to go 3 and out as a coach, as I'm sure Luke Lokank over there is not happy about that. But how, at least, how promising was that for that throw right there? If it was complete, they would have continued that drive. How good is that for the Warriors offense to see?
Yeah, I still think it's in here. More good possession. We got a flag as well. But going back to your point, you have confidence in your quarterback to read the field and to put the ball where it needs to go. The message just needs to be, hey, receivers, we need to look the ball into our hands. We need to focus on the fundamentals here and worry about handling the ball first, and then we run.
So that punt was returned by Shirelli of the Trojans to about the 39-yard line.
Gonna bring it
penalty
back.
Flag. Another illegal block in the back. This time it goes against EGN, so 4th or 5th penalty today for the Trojans. They do have the lead, but some pretty sloppy play early when it comes to staying disciplined and out of trouble.
Yeah, and a little bit on both sides here, Andy. I mean, we've seen several false starts in this game already. 3 from the Trojan side. We got a hold there, so still maybe a little bit of the jitters here, but this is what happens when you have 2 tightly contested teams that really focus themselves on playing hard, hard-nosed defense.
Straight ahead, Grant Georges wanted to get something going on that left side. Warriors said no thank you. Second down.
Yeah, short gain there, but when you're constantly 3, 4, 5 yards a pop running the ball, it's eventually going to force another safety down into the box, and then that's only going to open it up even more for Troja deep.
Troja is down here on the near side, furthest away from Lansu. Lansu awaits the play call from the sideline. Always love seeing the posters that they have for whatever sort of signals they're relaying in.
All the cue cards with the funny pictures.
2nd and 7. Lansu has plenty of time. Over the middle. What a snag! Are you kidding, Will Valla? Wow. Incredible from the Illinois recruit. First down for Downers Grove North.
First of all, an absolute bullet there from Owen Lansu. Just across the middle. That thing looked like it was going to be sailing into the backfield. And then all of a sudden, Valla just sticks his big paw up and snags that thing for a first down. How about that?
Valla needed all 6 feet, 3 inches of him to haul that one in. One of the more impressive catches I think I've ever seen at this level. What say you?
It's still early, but that's early running for catch of the game.
I agree with you there, partner. So, some more fireworks early. The passing attack, prolific for the Trojans. They have a fresh set of downs in Warriors territory.
Going back to these cue cards real quick, you've got Tom Brady, you've got Chipotle, you've got the Godfather on there, you've got emojis, all kinds of different things. Luckily for the other team and even us up here, we have no idea what that means.
It's a beautiful thing, and I think they're going to talk that over as Downers Grove North calls a timeout there. We're going to step away for a moment. It's 14-3 DGN on NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
So that timeout taken by the Trojans. About 5 minutes left in this first half of action. They sit with a comfortable 14-3 lead. And Lincoln Way West really looking for a defensive jolt, some sort of response to slow down DGN right now.
Yeah, they need something because not only have you allowed 2 touchdowns on back-to-back drives, but I feel like, if we're still buzzing about that one-handed catch from Valla before the break, you know that Downers Grove sideline is still feeling that one and feeling that juice.
And one of the main leaders on Lincoln Way West that's going to try and shut off that juice for DGN, Jackson Mansker, will be playing his ball at University of Indianapolis next year. Lansu escapes to his left. And he'll just step out of bounds in front of the pursuing linebacker, Jimmy Talley Jr., who himself has had quite a stretch of games recently.
Yeah, so actually a very interesting play there. You mentioned Jackson Mansker. He was actually the one shooting down from the safety position on that route here in the flat. And quarterback Downers Grove, Lansu, he saw that, decided not to looked it off, went the other way, picked up 5 on first down. Nice play all around.
Certainly talent on Lincoln Way West defensive end. Have to try and slow down Shirelli here, but Shirelli with some speed, and he'll get the first down and inside the 30-yard line of Lincoln Way West. Fresh set of downs for the Trojans.
Yeah, pretty easy there for the Trojans. He was 3-4 yards down the field before he even got touched. Fall forwards easily for a first down.
So Lansu will get the play call in. Again, looking back at his statistics over these past couple playoff games here. Look back in the first round, 11 of 18, 190 yards and a touchdown as he swings it out to Valla, who finds some space near the edge. Still going, absorbs a hit, and is still running. And that's not a guy you want to hit in open space.
No, I was literally just about to go there, Andy, that it's like you got him one-on-one. You might be thinking twice about that one, but more importantly, the blocking on the outside that allowed Valla to get outside and pick up that first down was so important.
I said Lansu, 11 of 18 in that first-round matchup, 190 yards and a touchdown. Last week, 15 of 20 for only 112, but his passing attack looks healthy as ever. But this time they won't hand it off. Straight ahead, Shirelli cuts back. He's inside the 10. Not enough for a first down, but brings up a nice 2nd and short for the Trojans.
Yeah, very solid on first down. And you mentioned the yardage from Lansu over these last couple of games. And yeah, 112 last week. That doesn't seem like a lot, but watching them operate on offense here, the way that they are mixing in the run, mixing in the short passes, it's just a very balanced game that 112 plays a lot bigger than maybe the number itself.
They're helped out by a very potent defense. It's stifling the Warriors' offense right now. Can the offense take advantage of it? Some more pre-snap mistakes, it appears. Let's see which team is the offending. The offender is once again a Trojan. Another false start. That's the 4th of the game.
Yeah, that's 4, and you could see the coach on the sideline here. Not exactly sure if it's a head coach, couple of assistants even, but you know, their frustrations are going to start growing. You can only continue to back yourself up so many times before they really start to cost you.
Still plenty of time on the clock for the Trojans. They're at the 14-yard line on the 2nd and 9. Play call being fed in. We'll see if they keep it on the ground with Shirelli or continue to air it out with Lansu. It will be Lansu. Has to roll to his right. Pressure mounting. He'll just throw that one away and just out of bounds. And luckily he did. He almost threw that one directly to RJ Boyd, the defensive back.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a dangerous throwaway there. Luckily, you know, it did make it out of bounds for the Trojans there. And actually, very nice blitz pickup there from Cirelli. Linebacker was shooting right up the gap. Nice block pickup there. At least was able to get him out of the pocket to throw the ball away and not take a sack and another negative play.
Lansu certainly has solid escapability, but would you expect the Warriors defense to maybe blitz a little more? And maybe that's exactly what they're going to talk over as we ponder the same question as the Warriors call a timeout. 3:26 left in the first half. You're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network. Lincoln Way West 14-3, a 3rd and 9 coming up here. Asked this before the break, have you gave some time to think about it. Does Lincoln Way West amp up the pressure on Owen Lansu?
I want to say yes, but the Trojans' offense has been so good at the quick passes that if the blitz can't get home, you're leaving a lot of guys open.
Lansu over the middle! Too high for Valla. Wanted to find one of his favorite targets today again. Suffocating defense. Valla wants pass interference. 4th down coming up with no flag.
Yeah, not going to get pass interference on that, especially being that bigger body. You know, you're going to have to bang a little bit more down there. No blitz from the Lincoln Way defense on that one. Only brought 4. Still able to get push. You got to be careful because running, they like the screen passes, that those blitzes could really find you giving up some big plays.
So the Warriors defense with a big stop on 3rd down. It will be Baker Glom on to kick about a
27, 28.
Call it about that. Jonathan Nelson, the holder. He gets it down. Glom's kick is wide right. No points on that pretty solid-looking offensive drive for the Trojans. How big is that for Lincoln Way West?
That's huge. I mean, that's exactly what they needed because it wasn't even that great of a defensive possession for them. But, you know, able to bend but don't break. They got the penalty, which, here, we look back at it, that's the first false start penalty for the Trojans that has come back to hurt them because that put them at 3rd and long instead of 3rd and 5. They were forced to throw, had to throw it away, didn't get the completion, sets up the longer field goal, and now he misses it. So, like I said, you can only have so many penalties against yourself before they start to come back and hurt you.
I think that is setting in for the coaching staff of DGN. You just saw head coach Joe Horeni come over and really lay into his offensive line that's sitting here watching tape in front of us. So they're going to take a breather while the DGN defense will try to stop the Warriors from responding before half.
Yeah, look for some motivation here from the offense with only 3 minutes left.
Tustin takes on the keeper. Linebackers swarming him. Bringing him down is number 45 of DGN, Reese Domino.
And if you're the Trojan defense, you have to expect that. As the defensive backs, do not let the receivers in behind you. You know, force everything in front of you, come up and be a sure tackler. Don't let up a big play before the half.
2nd and 6, Tustin drops back. The screen is on to Abu Bakar. Blockers in front of him. He will just net enough yardage for the first down. So we see Abu Bakar really getting back involved in the game. Shouldn't be unexpected, though, if you're the Trojan defense.
No, at 6'1", he's fast, only 191 pounds, great size. Throw him the ball, get him, out in space. Didn't quite work there. The Trojans defense, able to take on the lead blockers and rally to the football, but still able to pick up the first down. Needing to move a little bit faster here, though.
While it's a solid game, that clock still ticks. About 2 minutes ago in the first half. Keeping it through the air. Tustin wants to tuck and run. Stays on his feet, but that is brought down. Defensive line for the Trojans standing tall right now. 99 Justin Davis was first to Tustin in the backfield.
Yeah, a few other defenders in there. Jacob Roman, another one of these two-way players playing tight end and defensive line was in on that play as well. So not what Lincoln Way was looking for if you're trying to put up points before the half.
So 2nd and 15 now. Lincoln Way West, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Seemingly content with letting the time tick off this clock here. Maybe just hoping to not give the ball back to DGN. We'll see if their play calling reflects that here. And Tustin will hand straight ahead to Abu Bakar, who gets tackled forward for an impressive gain of about 7 yards. But 3rd down and long, that clock's still ticking, Anthony.
Yeah, that's exactly going back to what you said about the timeouts. I'd expect this to be from the Trojans. Wow. See, I was thinking the Warriors aren't calling their timeout because it's 2nd and long. If you call a timeout, you only pick up 5, and then now you don't get a first down here, that allows them to stop the clock again and get the ball back with maybe a minute or so left on the clock. So I was expecting maybe the Trojans defense to call a timeout there, but interesting to see the Warriors call it.
Yeah, it is Lincoln Way West burning their final timeout there. 1:17 remaining in the 2nd quarter. So unsure if that reflects that they're going to come and try and get this first down? Are they going to sit on the ball? What are you doing if you're head coach Luke LeCank of Lincoln Way West?
Yeah, if you're calling a timeout there in 3rd and long with only a minute left, you have to be going for the first down, because if you don't pick up a first down here, they're going to be able to call a timeout, the Trojans, get the ball back, and then have, like I said, almost a minute left to score. They've already had 2 big chunk plays. Like I said, that timeout was a little questionable to me. Especially on this side of the field, too. If you're across midfield, maybe that brings up a different conversation, especially with a big-legged kicker like you have. But so far away from field goal range, even. And you don't want to give the Trojans the ball back to score points before half. You are already trailing 14-3.
It's an important consideration. You can do the 2-minute offense a little easier than most with your big-legged kicker, Zach Hermanson. 3rd down, Tustin will throw. Over the middle, knocked down. Closing in on that is Baker Glom, who's also kicked both extra points for the Trojans today. So Glom all over the place, makes a huge play on 3rd down.
Yeah, great play. And obviously that was a drag route at about 3 yards. So unless the Trojans weren't going to come up and make a tackle, that one was going to come up short anyways. But now the incompletion, the Trojans don't even have to use their timeout. So now getting the ball back, and they have a timeout on offense. This is kind of a nightmare situation for the Warriors.
And keep in mind, at this level, the clock stops momentarily at every first down. So DGN is primed to potentially put more points on the board before the locker room if they choose to do so. Snap is over Hermanson's head. He's got to run back to get it. He'll collect it, and he's running for his life on the far side. Gets the punt away. It trickles out of bounds, only a few yards. What a disaster for Lincoln Way West. And DGN's going to start this drive inside of the red zone.
Yeah, partner, nightmare scenario just got a whole lot worse. And this is one of those things, it's like if you didn't call your timeout, maybe it forces the Trojans to use one, maybe there's less time on the clock. You're giving the ball with a minute left inside the red zone already.
Disaster scenario for Lincoln Way West. Their defense has a tall order in front of them.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations that if you're the Warriors defense, sideline, coaches, you are ecstatic if you can go into the halftime here only allowing a field goal.
So showing spread in the shotgun formation, Lansu will throw. Near side caught. Beautiful tackle there. Pass complete to Thulin, brought down by Max White.
Yeah, Max White, that was a huge tackle because that's a first down, if not more, if he's able to break that tackle. So keeps the clock moving. Still have 40 seconds.
We'll see if the Trojans look to go to the sidelines to try and get a clock stoppage without the timeout. Lansu has time in the pocket. Gets it out to Vala, and once again brought down in open space. Impressive tackling from the secondary of the Warriors.
Yeah, and like you said, impressive tackling, because that's another one of those plays that if Vala gets through that one, that's a first down. The clock stops for, a couple seconds while they spot the ball, and then it allows you to be able to run another play and not have to use that timeout here and use it before the field goal, that if you do stay in bounds, at least you can get your field goal unit out. So now with no timeouts left, they're going to have to play more to the sideline, play more into the end zone, or have that kicking unit ready to get onto the field quick if you get tackled in bounds.
32 seconds remaining in the first half. Trojans lead 14-3 and are hungry for more. Stick with us on NFHS Network. Downers Grove North out of timeouts. Ball spotted on the 14-yard line, wanting to come away with points here, and they will try to get it through the air. Over the middle, hauled in! Oliver Thulin gets his name in the books. Touchdown, Trojans.
Yep, and there it was, partner, right across the middle, going to your best guy into the end zone. That really sets the Trojans up very nicely going into this second half.
Oliver Thulin will be continuing to play his ball at the University of Dayton, but for right now, he's balling out in Downers Grove, Illinois, and this extra point could give an immense lead to the Trojans in the first half.
Yeah, the former Flyer, the future Flyer, flying all around here, so.
Tacking on the extra point, Baker Glom. It is good. 21-3, DGN currently steamrolling Lincoln Way West. Stick with the action, folks. We'll be back on NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor!
21 unanswered points for Downers Grove North. They lead 21-3 over Lincoln Way West. They've ran it in with their quarterback, Lansu. A touchdown throw to Max Troja, and right there, it was Oliver Thulin catching the ball over the middle to cement a wonderful offensive first half for DGN.
Yeah, there could not have been a better end to this first half than what the Trojans just got right there with the good stop on defense, a little fortunate with the timeout situation, and then the missed punt. And it's like both these teams, they're the ones hurting themselves.
Squib kick received at the 23-yard line by the Warriors. Picking up some solid gain, about 7-yard return. With 21 seconds left, the Warriors do have a timeout if they want to try and salvage some points at the end of this first half. Keep in mind, Zach Hermanson, the All-State kicker, is the one that'll be trying to tack on 3 points if it gets to that point.
Yeah. I don't know, Andy. I think I might take my medicine here in this first half, and let's go talk about it at halftime. You know, you don't want another bad snap. You don't need a turnover.
DGN in the prevent, only 3 men on the line and 3 deep for the Trojan defense. Tustin will throw. He gets over the middle. Pass is broken up in and out of the hands of number 13, Caden Walls. Breaking that one up is Georges.
Yeah, that's a dangerous play because Georges is only a step behind that one, and if he jumps that, that's a house call.
Reese Domino in on the action as well. Impressive closing speed, not only from the defensive backs and safeties of the Trojan defense, but also these linebackers.
Yeah, lots of speed, and that is being very evident in this first half from this Trojans defense.
2nd and 10, Lincoln Way West. Up ahead, Abubakar gets a couple gains, and the referee falls down in the middle.
Does look to be okay, though.
He gets to his feet. It shows that everybody in the football field's tough, whether you got a jersey on or the stripes.
Yeah, that's going to bring us to half. But can we quickly just reference what looked like the arena football motion? I'm surprised that was not called a penalty, but yeah, very good first half for the Trojans. Lincoln Way going to need to do some work here.
The Warriors certainly have a tough road in front of them. We're here in Downers Grove, and it is the Downers Grove North Trojans leading 21-3 over the Lincoln Way West Warriors. You're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
We're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
I get her, not solo.
You saying I did it?
Yeah,
Come on, what's wrong with you?
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
back to the broadcast booth here at Downers Grove North High School. It's 21-3. Downers Grove North leads the Lincoln Way West Warriors in this Class 7A quarterfinals of the state playoffs. What a first half to start for these home fans here at Downers Grove North High School, Anthony. It's pretty impressive stuff that we're seeing out here.
Yeah, beautiful afternoon and a beautiful start to this offensive game here for Downers Grove. 3 touchdowns up on the board, a couple big defensive stops. You know, everything kind of working their way right now, and it's going to be important for them to keep it going through the second half.
I'm Andy Diedrich, my counterpart, Anthony Collada, and we are about to kick off the second half of action. So how did we get here to 21-3? Well, it was actually Lincoln Way West that led off the scoring. They relied on the leg of their all-state kicker, Zach Hermanson, for a field goal. Since then, though, it's been all DGN. Minnesota commit Owen Lansu ran it in for a touchdown to start things off. And in case you forgot that the quarterback, Lansu, wasn't as good of a field general as he said he was, he topped off with 2 touchdown passes, one to Max Troja and one to his favorite target, Oliver Thulin. What do you think about this DGN offense that's looked so prolific to start?
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it in the first half, that they are just so balanced that sometimes with the passing yardage numbers don't necessarily reflect how efficient their passing game is. And, you know, we're seeing this, that they rely on Caden Sorelli in the running game. And then when they put the ball in Lansu's hands, he's able to see his guys very well, go through his progressions, and get the ball where it needs to be on time, too. And that's the biggest thing. And when you've got targets like Thulin and Vala, and then you got Toth, Sean Toth, down the sidelines, wide open, one-on-one, he's got a lot of weapons that is allowing him to almost make it look easy today.
So DGN will receive the ball first in the second half. And Lincoln Way West, pretty strong start, but after some miscues and a pretty dreadful high snap on a punt on the last 4th down they had, and we're going to have respond in a big way on defense here coming out in the second half.
Yeah, I don't really think that you can say Lincoln Way played a bad first half. It's just a few things here and there that set them back, and their offense just hasn't been able to consistently move the ball enough that when these little mistakes happen, it sets them back so much more that they're not able to make up for it. And then obviously, you know, a little bit of some timing mishap at the end of the half, the bad snap, you know, allowed this game to kind of be a little more uglier than it kind of is right now, at least score-wise.
Certainly still anybody's game here at Downers Grove North. We've seen many come from behind playoff wins in this most recent batch of games, and all these DGN fans standing and shaking their cowbells certainly do not want that to happen.
No, it's coming into this second half, this first possession is going to be important for both sides. That Lincoln Way, you kind of feel a little bit of pressure that they have to put at least a field goal up on the board, more so a touchdown, because on the flip side, if you're Downers Grove, you feel very good about your chances that if you can get a stop here, get yourself good field position and put some more points up on the board for what the rest of the game will look like.
Second half underway in Downers Grove. Glom's boot makes it to the end zone, and it is received and caught for a touchback. So 20-yard line to start for this Lincoln Way West offense. Grant Tustin, the quarterback, all-state honorable mention in Class 7A. He's looked shaky at times today, maybe no fault of his own. What does Tustin have to do to jumpstart the offense?
Yeah, I think not only Tustin, but you also got to look at Abu Bakar, that these two guys is the motor of this offense. I mean, here, they had over 300 total yards and 4 total touchdowns between the two of them last week. You got to rely on your big playmakers to help get you back into this game.
It is the running back, Jahan Abu Bakar, in the backfield, and he gets the ball on 1st and 10. Gain of about 5, dives forward, call it 6 yards, 2nd and 4 for the Warriors.
Yeah, very patient running there from Abu Bakar, and you know, being down 21-3 and finding yourselves on the opposite side of the field towards the end of that first half, they were forced to throw the ball a little bit more, the Warriors were. So coming into the second half, time is still on your side. You have the possession. Get back to Abu Bakar a little bit.
We saw him nearly break a run off for 40-plus yards. He stepped out at about the 20, and the Warriors had to settle for a field goal. See if he can do it again on 2nd down. No dice for the Warriors. That Trojan defense swarming on that far side.
Yeah, and you know, going back to this Trojan defense, Aiden Selecki, Purdue commit, not even out on the field for Downers Grove today, and they're handling this run game without him. Just imagine the impact that he could have had on this game and how much worse it could have been for the Warriors.
Defensive lineman Aiden Selecki is committed to go play his college ball at Purdue. Class 7A All-State defensive lineman. So Selecki's one of those big boys up front. I mean, they're also fronted. Will Valo was Class 7A All-State as well. And he's looking to get to the quarterback on third down. Tustin over the middle, hauled in. Impressive, a little bit of a high throw, but a great catch by Elijah James using his 6'5" frame to move the chains.
Yeah, that 6'5" was definitely utilized on that play. It wasn't over his head, but anyone else, and it might have been. So way to stick the hands up, snag that thing down, and get the first down. Moving the ball here, you got to build off that if you're the Warriors now.
Put one foot in front of the other and move down the field is what the Warriors look to do now. Fresh set of downs from their own 40. Abubakar waits. Is able to muscle his way for about, giving him a 3-yard gain there, but not much going there, just a complete collage and barrage of bodies in the middle there.
Yeah, and the running style from Abubakar is very Le'Veon Bell-esque, where he likes to sit back in the backfield a little bit, pick his spots, and then explode through the holes. He's looking for places to explode. There's just nowhere open for him to shoot through. So, instead of it being a 12 to 15-yard breakoff, it's more like 5 or 6 that is a good run for him right now.
Abubakar a week ago, 23 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. And another carry goes to him here. Once again, cannot find any real estate. And so it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Warriors, really trying to force feed it to their star back.
Yeah, and we just talked about it, is what's going to happen for the Warriors coming into the second half. You have to rely on your best players. They put the ball in Tustin's hands a few times to throw it. Abubakar has had a few running attempts. 3rd and 5. I think you run the ball here. Try to pick up 3 or 4 yards. Even if you don't pick up the first down, you're in position to go for it.
Sending pressure is DGN. Wide throw will bring up 4th down. Tustin's pass was intended for Thatcher Scurritt. So 4th and 5, decision time for the Warriors.
Yeah, see, and that's one of those things. That wasn't a first down getter. That was clearly a let's get 3 or 4 so we can go for a more manageable 4th down. Well, you probably could have done that on the ground. You get the incomplete pass, and now you're forced to punt on this first drive. All that momentum that you had moving the ball for those 2 first downs is essentially gone.
Hermanson on to punt. Trojans defense sitting back, maybe fearing a fake. No such play. Beautiful boot from Hermanson, goes over the head of Shirelli, and maybe too beautiful. Falls into the end zone for a touchback. 8:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Trojans up 21-3 on the Warriors on NFHS Network. Jumping back in the action at DGN. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Swing pass in the hands and out of the grasp of Thulin. Had blockers in front of him, and that's a dangerous guy to have in the open field.
Yeah, he had room to run on that one. Couple blockers as well. Little bit of a low throw, not the greatest, but I think even Thulin will tell you I took my eyes off that, was looking upfield and hoping for that touchdown run before I caught it. So, now it brings up 2nd and long.
Important consideration as we look ahead. The winner of today's quarterfinals matchup you're seeing here will play the winner of St. Charles North and Brother Rice. That game kicking off at 6 p.m. tonight as Shirelli has got a nice gain in front of him, and then some. Tackled at the 34-yard line. Huge gain of about 14 yards. Moving the chains for DGN.
Yeah, and if you're the Warriors defense, that is maybe the worst thing that you could have possibly seen on your first defensive drive. You got the incomplete pass. You know that the Trojans are going to want to run the ball. If you can't stop the run on the first play, you know that that's what's coming the rest of the game.
Two-pronged attack on the ground and through the air for DGN. Let's see if they choose to keep the offensive fireworks up. On this fresh set it down. Shirelli, far side. In pursuit is the defensive line. Great job setting the edge from Shirelli there. He was eventually brought down by Braden Nelson of the Warriors.
Yeah, Nelson able to make the tackle on that one, but not before he gets, 7 yards almost? 8 they're going to give him. So, if you're getting 14 yards a pop, it's going to be a long second half for the Warriors.
Trojans offense, content with letting the clock run. We'll get the play call in from the sidelines. The clock really is their friend now with this 18-point lead they've ran out to. They'll keep it on the ground, keep that clock ticking. And Georges gets 2.5, not quite the full 3 to get the first down. So it'll be 3rd and inches coming up for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, they ran it short there. Vala did come off the field. Maybe a little bit banged up, down on a knee here, but big boy is probably gonna, I don't expect him to sit out.
Yeah.
He's able to get off on under his own power.
Yeah, All-State Will Vala, who just hobbled off the field, as mentioned, stands at 6'3", 225, plays both ways, so
yeah, he's probably played 95% of the snaps already. He's just a little tired, getting some water.
Keep you updated on his status. On the ground, 3rd and short. Ball's loose, and it's recovered by the Warriors. After getting the first down, a huge turn of events. Ball is recovered by Lincoln Way West, and they're going to have some new life in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and like you said, the clock was on their side. Really, the only things that at this point Downers Grove could do to end up losing this game is the more self-inflicted issues. You had the drop pass, you have a fumble, you've had the false starts in the first half, so you have to still play a clean game here despite being up almost 3 scores.
So that's Grant Georges, who was the ball carrier there with the ball poked loose. Saw head coach Joe Horeni go over and give him a little bit of a heart-to-heart there. Say, we still believe in you. Georges is one of the many backs that's gotten on the scoreboard for the Trojans this postseason. And another star tailback, Abu Bakar, gain of 3, brings up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, watching the running games of both of these teams, you can just tell that the Warriors just don't have the explosiveness that we are seeing from the Trojan side. They're going to have to mix in, I think, some play actions, mix in some balls down the field a little bit. They have to find a way to get some chunk plays, because just running the ball 3 yards a pop, yeah, they add up, but that's not a consistent game right now for them.
We'll see if the desperation maybe mounts a little bit on the play calling decisions for the Warriors. Play actions on. Tustin pursued, gets it away. In the grass back there in the backfield, Joe Lasota, the captain, almost had him for a big sack.
Yeah, so they did have the play action on that play, but it wasn't fooling anybody. And I think they had about 3/4 of the defensive line in the backfield by the time that fake was pulled off. So nothing happening there. Another 3rd and, longish. It's so hard to constantly find yourself in these 3rd and 5 to 8s and longer to constantly pick up these first downs.
Trojan defense standing strong. Tustin passes, bubble screen. Fighting his way for more yards and getting the first down, it appears. Chase Markowitz, another guy that's going to continue on to play at the next level. He's finally in the book on the offensive side. Fresh set of downs for the Warriors.
Yeah, great effort with the ball in his hands on that one, because obviously a screen pass at the sticks, you were going to be well short. I thought he was still going to end up being probably 2 or 3 yards short, but able to maneuver his way, break a tackle or two, and just barely get to the sticks. I was even worried about the position on that.
So pretty rare territory for the Warriors. They have a first down in Trojan territory. Abu Bakar tries to break this off. Trojans are not fooled one bit. Crowd of Trojan defenders bring him down on the far side. No gain.
Yeah, great play there. from the defender Baker Glom. First there on the attack, Abu Bakar tried to kick it out. Another defender there to make the tackle. So a lot of great swarm tackling from this DGN defense that is keeping the plays in front of them, allowing those not to be the big breakout plays that the Warriors are looking for.
So 2nd and 10, passing attack. They've kept it short through the air. We'll see if they air it out a little bit more. Quick throw. It's caught by Markowitz. Gobbled up, but still a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and manageable for this Warriors offense that, again, really could use a couple more moving of the chains.
Yeah, so that's actually a very productive play. Not only does it set you up for a more manageable 3rd and 5, but you've got Connor Crowley over here, the corner for DGN. He was breaking hard on that comeback route, on that curl route. That's really what the Warriors have been doing all game. You keep doing those, eventually you're going to be able to get them on a double move if they're really trying to break on these curl routes.
Lincoln Way West taking a lot of time between plays here. Under 4 minutes in the 3rd quarter, they trail 21-3. Up ahead to Abu Bakar. He's pulled down about 1.5 yards, call it 2 yards short of the line to gain. I think this one's pretty obvious in what decision the Warriors will make.
Yeah, and this is about the exact situation that we've seen a couple of times throughout the game is run the ball up the middle, get your 2 to 3, and now set yourself up for another 4th and get 2 to 3, and now you're in the 1st down. It's those outside passes that turn into incompletions that result in the 4th and longs that you have to end up punting. So much better position here. I think you got to go up the middle again.
4th and 2. It's getting loud at Downers Grove. Tustin fakes. Back across the middle. And it is caught and will get 3 yards, which is more than enough for a 1st down. Elijah James coming through, his 3rd catch of the day.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky pass there from Tustin. I mean, James was not open. That defender was draped all over him, but the big body, James, he is 6'5", 215, just able to box him out, get the positioning. Throw was right where it needed to be.
Not the prettiest looking play, but the result was as intended. Under 3 minutes in the 3rd, 1st and 10, Lincoln Way West. It's straight ahead to Jahan. And even when he gets touched, the yards after contact for Abu Bakar is really something to witness.
Yeah, he's, like I said, Le'Veon Bell-esque, very patient. He's not necessarily put your head down, get the ball, put your head down, and just try to pick up what you can. He's gonna try to find his spots a little bit, and sometimes it might hurt you. Maybe there is a hole that closes up very quickly, but other times it'll help get you an extra few yards.
2nd and 5, play action. Near side, bobbled and dropped. Ball falls harmlessly to the turf. The intended receiver there, Thatcher Squirrut. It's a heck of a name, a lot of consonants in that one, but incomplete pass brings up 3rd down. The clock does stop here.
Yeah, so one of the tight ends, Junior there, unable to handle that one. And that's just another one of those plays that if you are able to secure that one, now it brings up a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, instead of this 3rd and 5 that you find yourself in. When you're constantly throwing the ball underneath, you got to pick up the yards where you can.
Warriors playing with a bit of pace. DGN shows pressure. Getting it out quick, up in the air. Another missed opportunity on a drop pass intended for Elijah James. So 4th and a long 5 here, Anthony.
Yeah, very long 5, and it literally goes back to exactly the same play. Now you have 2 drops in a row that you could have been within a yard of the 1st down marker here for 4th down, and now you find yourself 4th and mid, really just kind of on the range of field goal range, and you're kind of in the middle here. You're taking a lot of time. You're not really sure what you got to do now. They are going to go for it. It's probably the right idea, given the score.
Your kicker is Zach Hermanson, who has been money all season. But Luke LeCant keeps his offense on the field for the biggest play of the game. 4th and 5, Warriors. Tustin keeps on the draw play, and he fights his way past the 20-yard line into the red zone. Most importantly, a 1st down.
Yeah, very gutsy call there. That was quarterback draw all the way. They spread them out, try to get, all those defenders in the middle, get the safeties out, get the linebackers out. That way it's my beef against yours with my quarterback, and, let's get 5. and they did.
Strength versus strength has been the name of the game so far, and I think Lincoln Way West really leading into their strengths on offense on this drive. So they find themselves inside of the Trojan 20 for the first time in seemingly a long time, and they go back to the draw play. Tustin charges ahead using his big frame to gain about 6 yards.
And Tustin took a big old hit there. We've got an offensive lineman trying to sell a penalty, and the ref says, you better get back up.
Solid gamesmanship there. I think these offense maybe seeing that time is of the essence, wanting to get as many yards as they can, but still 5 or 6 yard gain there. You have to be encouraged if you're seeing this rushing game from the Warriors.
Yeah, and this is the game plan that you expected to see from the Warriors all first half.
Back to Abu Bakar. And again, in a crowd of Trojan defenders, but will be, and looks like a foot short of the first down line to gain, which is at about the 9 yard line. So third and real short, Lincoln Way West.
After a couple of drops on the last few short pass attempts, I think you have to keep this one on the ground. Maybe, go back to Abu Bakar. I like the quarterback draw that they've ran a couple of times now, but I think you got to keep this one on the ground.
Lincoln Way West trailing 21-3, likely the final play of the third quarter. And it is their star running back, Jahan Abu Bakar, with the first down. So first and goal for the Warriors there after the 3 yard gain. This drive certainly looks promising. There's a whole lot of more work to do if they want to get back into this one fully.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point as we head to the quarter. So real quick, yeah, you're running the ball very well, but a lot of time came off that clock, and you are still down 21-3. So gonna need some more motivation here in this fourth quarter.
Well, we will see what team is motivated for the final 12 minutes of action. End of 3, Trojans lead 21-3 on NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
We're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo!
See my kid?
Andy Diedrich alongside Anthony Culata here on the NFHS Network, folks. Downers Grove North leads the Lincoln Way West Warriors 21-3, but Lincoln Way West is sure to add some points on this first and goal opportunity.
Yeah, the urgency here from the Warriors needs to get kicked up here in the fourth quarter, needing a touchdown almost now.
Tustin, another quarterback draw. It's been working, and it nets them more than enough yards. Tustin using that big frame, plows into the end zone, touchdown, Lincoln Way West.
Yeah, I think the coach told Tustin about exactly the same thing, and he said, all right, coach, I got you. He just ran through about 4 defenders and was not going down before he got into the end zone. So big first play for the fourth quarter. 21-9 with the PAT coming, so they find themselves right back in this, down 2 scores.
After a scoreless third quarter, the first play of the fourth is a touchdown. On to tack on the extra point, Zach Hermanson, All-State kicker. Easy as pie for Hermanson. 21-10, the Trojans lead. They'll get the ball back after this. You're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it.
You'll know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
Back at Downers Grove North, 21-10 lead for the Trojans over the Lincoln Way West Warriors. The offense seemingly awoke there for Lincoln Way West. They get their first touchdown of the day, and right when they needed it the most.
Yeah, they did. Warriors able to move the ball down the field after getting the stop to start the second half. But like we said, that took a lot of time. You are still down 2 scores, and the big thing came from it was the fumble. So if you end up getting the ball and having to go 60, 70, 80 yards, there needs to be some more movement going on if Lincoln Way is going to find their way back into this one.
So the wind picking up here a little bit at DGN. We're going to have a hold on this kickoff from Nicholas Elsner. And it's still a pretty good one from Hermanson. Line drive kick to the end zone, touchback.
Yeah, he sent that thing into the end zone, through the wind at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. So very impressive kick there.
On once again, looking to respond, the Trojan offense. Owen Lance, who's been great today. He's ran it in himself, and to top that off, 2 passing touchdowns from the Minnesota commit.
Yeah, he's been comfortable. He's been in control. He's gotten the ball out of his hands when he needs to, and overall, they've relied on the running game, and that's exactly what they need to do here in this fourth quarter. Eat out the clock, and just keep handing the ball to your running backs. They found success.
It is Shirelli that will play action, actually. Goes to Thulin on the first play of the drive. 5-yard gain, brought down by Jackson Mansker in the secondary.
Yeah, they're actually going to give him 6 there, and when you can get the ball quickly out of your hand to a wide open Thulin, that's almost like an extension of the run game. They call screen passes some of these quick, swing passes. That's essentially that right there. It keeps you in bounds, keeps the clock moving, and it keeps you in front of the sticks.
2nd and 4 now. This time it does go to Shirelli. Cuts up and back. Makes his way through and gets some more yards after contact. Both teams showing their physical nature on a great first down run from Caden Shirelli.
Yeah, Shirelli, very powerful, finding the gaps and squirting through for a first down. The biggest thing is the message that was, you got to imagine the message that was hammered home was ball security. Let's hang on to the ball. Don't allow them back in this game by giving them the ball back. So that's exactly what happened on the last drive.
They say ball security is job security, and right now Caden Shirley's job looks rather secure. So get the ball on the fresh set of downs for the Trojans. He will fight tooth and nail, gets a couple more even after he's in the dog pile. A solid gain of 7 here. The run game just is bearing great dividends for the Trojans.
Yeah, and the only thing that is allowing it to do is the clock is going to keep moving. DGN's going to continue to go down the field and play at their pace. This is exactly the drive that they were hoping to have after allowing that touchdown.
The late, great Chiefs head coach, Kansas City Chiefs Hank Stram, called it matriculating the ball down the field, boys, and it looks like the Trojans are going to do exactly that, keeping it on the ground. Who else but Shirelli? This time, impressive tackle made from Jackson Mansker. We've mentioned his name a few times. He's going to play his ball at the University of Indianapolis next season.
Yeah, fantastic play there. Holds him to 1, which actually didn't think he even got a yard on that play. So good for Shirelli there to fight for 1. 3rd down. This is where you need your defense to get in for a tackle for a loss. If they do decide to throw the ball, you got to find a way to make it incomplete, get some pressure on the quarterback.
Big defensive play from Mansker there. The Warrior defense will rely on him. We'll talk more about Mansker in a second. On 3rd and short, screen pass far side. Tackle broken and getting to the outside. It's the big play demon for this Downers Grove North offense. Max Troha, big first down on the screen pass.
Yeah, that was the corner out there. RJ Boy, he read it well. Tried to fight through the block and make a tackle, but unfortunately unable to get him down in the backfield. Allows him to get the first down, and it's again one of those extension of the run game type plays.
Troha, with how elusive he is, maybe ran too fast for his own good. He's down in the field, so we're going to step away for a moment here at Downers Grove North. You're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network. I saw the tag. Yeah, I would have felt bad if I'd have said if he was hurt, but I think he looked great. So.
Mustard. There is, I have heard that Cubs pitcher when we won the World Series, Jason Hamill, he had cramp issues. Trainer told him potato chips. Eat a bag of potato chips before every start. Yeah.
Looks like they started on the 48.
Max Troha for DGN gets to his feet. Looked like it was just some cramps, and with how quick he is, I don't blame him. He's earned maybe a playoff or two.
Yeah, moving quickly. He's limping off a little bit, but they saw him down on the sideline with his leg propped up, stretching out the hamstrings or something. So, yeah, he does look to be okay, but probably get him some water, maybe some pickle juice or something.
You know your stuff, Anthony. So, regardless, first down, Trojans find themselves in Lincoln Way West territory once again. Plowing ahead, Shirelli puts his head down and gets 4 yards.
It's simple. It's easy right now for DGN. I mean, you look at Lansu, and he's just hike and handing it right off, not having to put any window dressing, none of that. It's simple. It's my best versus your best. Let's get 4 yards a pop.
Best part about this long lurching drive the Trojans trying to embark on, more time off that clock, less time for the ball to be in the hands of Lincoln Way West.
Yeah, still over 8 minutes, so you're not thinking about timeouts yet if you're the Warriors, but it is getting there. Another pre-snap.
Pre-snap penalty. Could it be the 5th false start against DGN? Indeed it is.
We've seen this situation before. You pick up 4 on first down. That's positive. That's a great start to that set of downs. And now that 5 yards backs you up 2nd and 11. It makes 3rd and 4th down that much harder.
So backed up to the 49-yard line, 2nd and 11 for the Trojans after the penalty. Coming in motion is Will Valla.
Back in the game as well.
I mean, it's easy money, like you said. Caden Shirelli averaging probably 4 or 5 yards a carry on this drive, and you only need 10 yards to get a first down, so I think that bodes pretty well for the Trojans.
Yeah, exactly. And now at 3rd and 6, you go right back to the well. Get yourself that 4 to 6 yards again, and then due to where you're at in the field position, I think you go for it if you get to a 4th and 1 situation.
Oh, so if you were 4th and short here in Warrior territory, you would go for it if you're head coach Joe Hareni.
Yeah, I think so. You are still up 2 scores, and it shows trust in your whole team that, hey, let's go win this thing right now.
They throw it, and it's wide of Thulin. DGN sideline wants a flag on the defense, and none is given, although there is a flag on the far side of the field near the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the referees rule here. Did you see anything over there?
I did not see anything on the far side. I was paying attention to that no call on the pass interference down here. Illegal man. So another offensive penalty. Going real quick to the no PI down here. That's a close call. I was okay with the no call there. The throw did look to be a little wide as well.
So a bold call going through the air on 3rd down. The incompletion stops the clock, and even if they completed it, ineligible man downfield was the penalty, declined by Lincoln Way West, and the punt unit comes out for DGN.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly when throwing the ball. A little questionable there. You had success running the ball. Keep the clock moving.
On to punt for the Trojans, Baker Glom. Excuse me, that is Oliver Thulin that's punting. He punts it into the end zone for a touchback. So 21-10, DGN leads Lincoln Way West. 7 minutes of football coming at you right after this on NFHS Network.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Lincoln Way West will start from their own 20-yard line. Grant Tustin has the snap and rolls to his right. Downfield through the hands of the defender. Dangerous throw, and nearly coming up with maybe a game-clinching interception was Connor Crowley of Downers Grove North.
Yeah, very dangerous throw there. And I actually think that Tustin got a little greedy there because he actually had Chase Markowitz open underneath. He looked it off pretty quickly and continued to roll out and tried to force it into double coverage. Very lucky that wasn't intercepted.
Scary moment there for the Lincoln Way West offense, but time is of the essence. Desperation time is nearing. They keep it on the ground this time, though. Abubakar, solid gain of 5, falls hard to the turf after the hit from Reed Adelman.
Yeah, you don't hate 5 yards on second down, but in this part of the field, with the amount of time on the clock left, it leaves a lot to be desired.
In a vacuum, the right play is always giving it to Jahan Abubakar, but the situation the Warriors find themselves in, maybe not. Third down, through the air. Pass is caught, big hit absorbed, but able to hang on to the ball there. Elijah James, we've called his name numerous times tonight. The big tight end moves the chains for the Warriors.
Yeah, Sean Toth on that play. It was a very good play to come off of his man and stick the ball carrier, but right at the line of scrimmage does move it for the Warriors. So you have to expect a pass play down the field at some point. Everything's been underneath. Got man-to-man press coverage down low.
Indeed they do. Some rush from the Trojans. A little bit of miscommunication on that incompletion there. Intended for number 4, Ethan Swanson. Second down coming up for the Warriors.
Yeah, and we talked about it right there. Connor Crowley was one-on-one to the bottom of our screen here in press man, and he just absolutely locked down the receiver. So quarterback was looking that way, immediately came off of it.
Do think the story of the game so far has been Downers Grove North's defense. They've only allowed 10 points this game, and they're just pitching a really solid near shutout action. And they'll look to do it on 2nd and 10. Short pass is caught off and running Markowitz. Great open field tackle. We'll go ahead and credit that to, that's number 45, Reese Domino.
Yeah, great open field tackle. A little bit of a screen pass there. Had a couple blockers get out underneath. And, a little bit of room there. Able to come up and make the tackle. And that's exactly what this DGN defense needs. Keep everything in front of you. Make sure tackles.
Lincoln Way West, no huddle. Big third down play. Tustin airs it out. Dropped by Abubakar. Wasn't going to get the first down, but those are some yards they really needed.
Yeah, you want to have that. What's still going to set up 4th down, but I think you have to go for this 4th down anyways. So pick up a few yards there, make this easier. But now this could be it for the Warriors. If they turn it over inside their own zone, inside the 40, inside the 35, it could be it.
It's 21-10. Downers Grove North leads. And their defense firing up these fans in attendance. The Warriors take a timeout to talk things over before this 4th and 9 play. But it's do or die time here in Downers Grove. We're going to take a short break, and you're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network.
Oh, you gotta talk about this.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Back here in the broadcast booth at Downers Grove North High School, Andy Diedrich alongside Anthony Collada. Huge play here, 4th and 9 for Lincoln Way West. They trailed by 11 points with just under 6 minutes to go. Do or die, season on the line. What does Lincoln Way West draw up out of this timeout? Tustin in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his left. Drops back, feels some pressure, over the middle, deflected, falls incomplete, no flags. And Downers Grove North takes over on downs.
Yeah, another underneath pass there from the Warriors. Baker Glom, he's been all around the ball today. A few pass defends and none bigger than that one on 4th down right there. It sets the offense up in the opposing territory. They've got the time, they've got the running. This could be milking it out time.
Bodes well for the Trojans. Also in on that deflection, Oliver Thulin, the captain, who we've called his name numerous times. We said he'd be a two-way threat, and he's dominated, to be honest with you. So coming out for perhaps maybe one last drive here of this game, Owen Lansu. Quarterbacked a fantastic game today, stepped up when he needed to. But this time they'll give it to Shirelli, who continues on his tear. He's not breaking off for the big runs, but how valuable, once again, are these 4 or 5 yard runs to get them down the field?
If you could write out the plays that you want to happen, if you're DGN, 5 yard run every single play would be what you write down. So don't get fancy. You don't have to throw the ball, risk a drop in the clock stopping. Just keep handing it to your running back. As we do have an injury, so that's Anthony Bertacci, able to limp his way off the field without any help. So hopefully nothing too serious there. But going back to the point, Andy, keep it simple. Just keep running the ball. Keep eating out the clock. The Warriors, they had to use the 1 timeout now. Expect them to continue to use them.
So big Anthony Bertacci, a key figure on this offensive line, will go to the sidelines here, but still second and manageable, keeping it on the ground. Caden Shirelli shouldering a big load today. Didn't gain as many yards there, but it keeps that clock ticking.
Yeah, keeps the clock ticking is the most important thing at this point. Just taking a look here at Bertacci down on the sideline. He is on the bench with his leg up. Trainer throwing some tape around the shoe. The shoe didn't even come off. Or the shoe did come off. He got his ankle tape. Shoe's going back on now, so looks to be okay there.
He listed at 6'3", 290 pounds, and somehow was able to get to his feet and run off the field under his own power. You think he wants to win?
He does. He's still limping around, but he's wanting to go back in as we got a deep ball.
Lansu nearly with the final dagger to the Warriors, a bit overthrown. Was trying to get it to Oliver Thulin, but a passing play there stops the clock, brings up 4th and 4. Do you think it's 4 down territory if you are the Trojans?
So on the last situation where we could have gotten a 4th and short, you asked, would I have gone for it? Yes. Here, it depends on how much you really trust your kicker. I probably would have ran the ball on that last one, but like I said, you go for the win right there. That's exactly what they just tried to do on that play. It looks like they're doing it here now.
4th and 4. Lansu rolls right, surveying, still looking. Wants to go to the end zone. Flag is thrown. Thulin couldn't come up with the ball, but it looks like the drive's still alive for Downers Grove North.
Yeah, pass interference all the way. Defender didn't turn his back, face guarding, the ball hit, like that's clear cut pass interference all day. In the end zone, sets them up 1st down. And, that's kind of one of those situations, you see it in the NFL a lot, that the defense is actually rewarded for bad coverage because the quarterback throws a bad ball and it's underthrown and the receiver's got to go through. Maybe you don't like the rule, but nothing you could do as a receiver there if you're getting blocked,
Downers Grove North clearly feeling fearless on what could be their final drive of the game. 4th and 4, aired out to the end zone. I guess when you got Owen Lansu under center, things bode pretty well for you.
Yeah, you trust your 3-year starter to make the right decision in that situation, that if it's not going to be a touchdown, a positive play, you throw it away and not a turnover.
Well, Lansu fumbles the ball. Picked up by Shirelli, who still manages a couple-yard gain on that. Even when things aren't going well for Downers Grove North, they still seem to come out on top.
And there is nothing that is going to make DGN hold their breath more than seeing that ball on the turf.
Could have been a drastic change of things here at Downers Grove, but deep breath. Everybody breathe a little bit. That clock's still ticking under 4 minutes. Trojans are going to look to keep milking this clock on a 2nd and about 6 yards at the 10-yard line of the Warriors.
Yeah, you're kind of in like no man's land with timeouts right now. You're still able to pick up the first downs, but there's a lot of time.
Lincoln Way West with 2 timeouts left. They bring down Shirelli for a couple-yard gain.
I'd expect him to call one now, being 3rd down.
Give the tackle the number 20.
Maybe not.
Clock will keep ticking. More than content to let that clock keep counting down is Downers Grove North. Lansu will get the play in from the sideline and take his sweet old time to get back to his teammates. And we're about 3 minutes from the final horn here, partner.
Yeah, I think they probably should have went timeout there. A lot of time just ran off the clock.
Another handoff to Shirelli. He has the first down.
Shirelli, the ball carrier.
Well, and maybe that's part of it, is you don't necessarily trust to stop the first downs. That at that point, oh, we're still debating. It is 4th down, so now
the spot, by my eyes, looked like he gained to nearly the 3-yard line. The referees here giving him about the 4.5. So another 4th down facing the Trojans on this drive. It looks like they're just going to plow ahead here. Lansu going under center for one of the first times tonight. He sneaks, rolls to his left, and will get the necessary half a foot or so. First down, Trojans.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that the Warriors were more so focused on, we just need to get the ball back into our hands, and we'll control the clock from there. That they don't have the defense in this game throughout to stop the run, to be able to control the clock defensively with those timeouts. So I think it's it's hard with these timeouts. You know, what do you do? 40 seconds at a time are coming off, but if you can't get a stop, you almost have to. You can't let them score though.
Only so much you can do. Downers Grove North playing in front of their home fans. Be a wonderful send-off for the Trojans before the state semifinals. Shirelli plows ahead, but no gain there. Clock continuing to tick, and now it appears Lincoln Way West will take their 2nd timeout of the half with 1:38 to go. So we're going to take one more short break, but things are wrapping up here in Downers Grove North. They lead Lincoln Way West 21-10. You're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Downers Grove North Trojans, who lead 21-10 over Lincoln Way West in the quarterfinals of the Class 7A state playoffs right here in the beautiful state of Illinois. So this one feels like it's all but over. What sort of, do you try to get fancy here at all if you are the Trojans? Or you just try to plow ahead with your run game?
Absolutely not. I would take a knee before I get fancy. Because here, you could take this thing all the way down and turn it over on downs at the 1-yard line, and the Warriors will end up having the ball with about 30 seconds left to go 99 yards and still need 2 touchdowns. I would not get fancy at all. I would go down before I do that.
Clock is still ticking. Lincoln Way West holding on to that final timeout. 3rd and goal from the 1 for Downers Grove North. Lansu under center. QB sneak.
Short again.
Short again. So
I think you actually like that if you're Downers Grove North, though. Like, just keep the ball in our hands. They'll use their last time out here. We'll run this last play.
Yeah, you almost have to wonder if it was designed. You never want to design a play to not go anywhere, but more time getting taken off the clock's not a bad thing.
No, actually, Vrabel did that last week when they were playing Atlanta. Drake May was 2nd and goal. They had only like 30 or so seconds before halftime, and they actually told Drake May to like fake a quarterback sneak and like fall down. It was the ugliest quarterback sneak ever, but when you look at the situation, that's actually what he was doing. Vrabel, one of the best coaches in the game in terms of clock management, another one of those situations that could have been what we saw there, that quarterback was not trying to get in the end zone.
and maybe trying to channel some of that Mike Vrabel energy. Head coach of Downers Grove North, Joe Horeni. Although Joe Horeni's not the standout Ohio State linebacker, I'm sure they have some similarities. Both their teams are winning right now, and that puts a smile on both of their faces for sure.
Yeah, records were pretty similar. Patriots are 8-2 now.
Downers Grove North is 9-2,
so
looking
yeah,
to be 10-2. Not bad. Hey, we're pretty good at this, you know?
We connect all the dots.
3rd and goal from the 1. Shirelli straight ahead. He'll walk in. Put a cherry on it, folks. Touchdown, Downers Grove North. They have all but punched their ticket to the state semifinals.
Yeah, Sorelli even with a little bit of a high step there as he walks on into the end zone, and that one will, in fact, put this one on ice, partner.
Can't blame him for having a little extra swagger on that one.
When you've been running the ball like he has all day, I think you're allowed to give a little bit.
I'm willing to say that although there's so many different contributors that made Downers Grove North, you know, the team that they are and the team we saw today, I think I will give our player of the game to Caden Shirelli just for the sheer grit and hard work he went for all these runs. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, here, obviously, you can look at Lansu, you can look at Thulin, you can look at Troha, you can look at all these guys, but when it comes down to who was the most important player for this Downers Grove team, and it had to be Sorelli, because when they needed to run out the clock, he was the one that the ball was in his hands. He hung onto the ball, he continued to mash yards all the way down the field, and then puts the stamp on it with that last touchdown.
Extra point was good, so 28-10. We're within a minute here at Downers Grove North. The fans are feeling it, the band's firing them up. Isn't this just such a beautiful thing? High school football and bringing everybody together.
Yeah, these Downers Grove fans are going to go home very happy. Not only did they get to come out here and see their team advance past the quarterfinal round, first time in a while that they've done that, but also you got to come out here, watch a fantastic football game, and it's almost 70 degrees in November, partner.
Hard to be upset on a day like this. Lining up to kick it off one more time will be Baker Glom. And of course, looking at the opponent, some team has to lose today, unfortunately. Lincoln Way West, what a tremendous season. They're going to fall at 10-2 on the year, have a couple guys that got all-state recognition. One of their best seasons in program history. Just an unfortunate send-off for these 37 seniors on the roster.
Yeah, you know, like you said, there always has to be a team that loses, and obviously not the way that this Warriors team wanted to go out with those 37 seniors. You know, this one's going to sting for them. You know, you don't get this far every year, and you know it is gonna hurt. But they talked about the program and the trust that all of these players have in each other. That these 37 seniors have made a huge impact on the underclassmen that are going to be coming back next season. That I wouldn't expect Lincoln Way to be anywhere else besides right back here next year.
Ball is booted away and will be returned by the Warriors. Making a couple cuts, trying to set the edge, unable to do so. Solid return from Jackson Mansker, who, again, tremendous player, said his name a bunch of times tonight. Unfortunately, not much he could do against just this DGN team that's like so spectacular at both ends of the football.
Yeah, Mansker, we've seen him catch a couple of passes on offense. We've seen him involved on defense, being in the defensive backfield. He's also a linebacker, making a lot of plays there. Kick return, so obviously, you know, one of their best athletes. Going to Indianapolis.
So one last time for Lincoln Way West. Here comes Grant Tustin. Honorable mention, All-Stater in Class 7A. He'll throw it. We'll have another completion. This time gets to Caden Walls. Walls' first catch of the day. And it was actually a junior on the roster. They do have a couple underclassmen, hard to believe. But like you said, this team's primed to reload. It looks like the Warriors will keep the pace up as we are about 30 seconds left.
Oh.
Hook and lateral is on. Successfully done. And here goes down the sidelines, Abu Bakar. Impressive chemistry between him and the one who originally caught that pass, Chase Markowitz.
Yeah, I love that. And you kind of just wonder, it's like, why did you wait so long to break that one out? You were down 11 points with the ball. That's their biggest play of the game. Just, I don't know why they waited so long on that one.
Their biggest chunk play of the day gets about 30 or 40 yards. Unfortunately, it maybe comes when the fat lady's already singing. Abu Bakar was pushed out of bounds. Clock stops 24 seconds. And Lincoln Way West put some more points on the board before we're out of here. Tustin keeps it through the air. It's caught, but immediately dragged down is Markowitz.
Yeah, nice play there by Reese Domino, breaking quickly on that inside pass.
Warriors out of timeouts. Inside 10 seconds. One last play for the Warriors. To the end zone. Intercepted. And taking a nice little dive there to celebrate. Who else but number 10, Captain Oliver Thulin. Your final score from Downers Grove North High School. The Trojans 28, the Warriors 10. Downers Grove North advances to the state semifinals. They will await the winner of St. Charles North and Brother Rice. That game kicks off later tonight. Just a real quick game recap, my friend. What did you like today? I mean, what a fantastic game. Two fantastic teams. Downers Grove North, though, they're pretty legit now.
Yeah, very legit. And, you know, we talked about a very complete team. Not only were they phenomenal on defense, without one of their best players, by the way, but on offense, great complementary football. They ran the ball when they needed to. They were able to air it out and find their spots when they had to, and just were able to control the clock, control the game all the way down. 3 ways. Great win for Downers Grove.
This is the type of win that gets people coming back to these games, gets the program some more prestige. As you see the players making the way back over to talk to the coaching staff and the fans. Looks like they had fun today. I hope you had fun as well, Anthony.
That was a great game. Beautiful day. 2 evenly matched teams. We did see some back and forth. Little sloppy with some of the penalties. You know Downers Grove is going to look to clean up those, especially those 5 false starts. But overall, a lot to be happy about, a lot to be excited about for this Trojans team. And as for the Warriors, you know, this one's going to sting, especially for a lot of these guys that aren't going to be coming back. But you know, they got a tight-knit group over there. They're going to be back.
So the Trojans, hopefully looking forward to seeing them play some more football. But all we can say for now, your final score, 28-10 for the Trojans, is your final here from Downers Grove North. We're going to have a post-game interview with our player of the game coming up, but we're all done up here in the broadcast booth. So for our entire crew here at NFHS Network, for Anthony Collada, my name's Andy Diedrich. We'll see you next time.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Welcome into the post-game interview presented by IHSA Network. My name is Andy Diedrich, and you're watching our presentation of the Illinois State Playoffs. Downers Grove North is going to the state semifinals. They advance over Lincoln Way West by a score of 28-10. Standing by, our player of the game, running back Caden Shirelli of Downers Grove North. What a game for you guys. As a captain of the team and a leader, how does this feel for you and all the guys in the locker room?
It's awesome. I'm still on such a high right now. It's a great feeling to come out with a win. With my guys, my brothers, we all work so hard, so I give all glory to God.
I think what's most impressive, you guys were actually down to start this game and then came back with 21 unanswered points. What does that say about the resiliency of you, the rest of the guys in the locker room, and what the coaching staff is preaching?
The coaching staff does a great job preparing us. As a team, we work our butts off, so we know what it takes. We run sprints all the time, and when we're tired, that's when we're best.
Your offense is something to watch. Quarterback Owen Lansu, yourself, Will Vallis, so many other names we could talk about. How do you guys deal with having so many weapons on offense and just being able to score at will whenever you want to?
It's awesome. It's a great feeling when we take a big, deep ball. It gives us a little bit of a break. To have so many weapons on our team, to be surrounded by great guys that push you, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, and then Lincoln Way West is not a team to scoff at, though. They have some offensive weapons themselves. Your defense held firm. What can you say about the 11 guys on defense that really made it an easy ball game today?
I think our defense is our heart and pride of the team. We work so hard. We prepare all the time. Our coach is on us. We spend a ton of time in film, and it really pays off today.
Caden, go have some fun, man. It's been an honor watching you play. Best of luck the rest of the way. That's going to do it for us on NFHS Network. My name's Andy Diedrich. We'll see you next time.